There's nothing better, Brittany, when you come home and you have a quick soup that's warm this time of year and you have just the recipe for that.
Absolutely, and I still love comfort foods. And with all the snow and the cold weather, that's what we want, is that comfort food that we can share with our family. And so we're gonna get started with a sausage and a cabbage soup. And it's pretty simple, it's very few ingredients. You know I love those type of recipes. And so I'm gonna first dice my onion, and I'm gonna use a food processor. My eyes are so sensitive to it. And so I'm gonna add it to my chopper here.
And Brittany, these ingredients, I mean, this is a pretty healthy soup as well.
It is. We are going to add a few potatoes, and so you've got a carb there. I think to me that's almost the comfort meal of it, but you could leave that out if you wanted to, and you could put in carrots. It's kind of one of those recipes you could do a multitude of things.
And I'm going to go ahead and chop up this cabbage.
Okay. How quick that was with this. I would have been cutting for days. Okay, so into my Dutch oven here, we've talked a little bit about cast iron, and the great thing about this is it's less maintenance. You don't have to season it. It's a lot easier to clean, and so I love that I have this to use for soups and stews and things like this. So into my Dutch oven, I'm gonna add my onions, and I'm doing a medium-sized yellow onion.
And the great thing about it is you still get all the benefits of cast iron in these, and they're so much more fashionable. I mean, you know, they have those in almost every color now.
Yes, they do. And we're gonna add a half a cup of butter to this. And now I'm gonna take this to the stove, and I'm gonna start to let those onions wilt and soften and melt our butter. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
We're gonna start off on a medium heat so that we can really get our Dutch oven hot. We may lower it in just a little bit. So we're just gonna let this simmer away. I have the top on, and we're gonna really wait for those onions to be nice and soft. Okay, so to our stew, we're gonna add 1 head of cabbage, and Joanna, you are a pro at that cabbage cutting over there.
Just trying to get it chopped up, you know, and cabbage is such a great vegetable to use in soups. It cooks up so nicely and doesn't add a whole lot of calories at all, but a lot of good nutrients.
Absolutely, and I love the taste of cabbage, and so I'm always looking for new cabbage recipes, and so I love when I can add it to a comfort meal like this. So I'm gonna add a couple Yukon Gold potatoes, but you could add any potatoes that you have, or you could just omit those completely if you'd like to. If I had some carrots, I would have added that. I think it would add nice color. My little one loves carrots, and so anytime I can add those, I will. And then we're also...
I'm gonna go ahead and put these in this cabbage in the bowl, Brittany. Those Yukon Golds, they add such a rich, buttery flavor. Those potatoes have great flavor all in themselves.
They really do, and I think you see a lot of recipes that are soups that use the gold potato. And I'm cutting these pretty small because I want our stew to cook quick. But if you were gonna, you know, if you had a meal later in the day, you could make your potatoes a little larger, just your preference. And for our protein, we're gonna use 1 pound of a Polish sausage.
Yeah, and those are super affordable at the grocery. You know, a lot of times you can find those where they're on sale, and they last quite a long time. And so you could purchase those. Brittany, do you want me to go ahead and chop that up?
If you don't mind.
Okay.
A lot of times if I like to catch them on sale, I will buy them and keep them in the refrigerator, and I may not know immediately what I'm gonna do with them, but like you said, you can do so many things. I know that when I have one of those nights that we're getting home late and I need a quick meal, that's one.
A lot of times I'll just
pull out.
slice these and put some sauce on them and then fix some sides. It makes for a quick meal that has your protein in it, and the kids love the different sauces they get. It's kind of like a different meal every night.
Fun. Yeah. Okay, I hear our onions over there sizzling away.
They smell good.
I'm gonna add our potatoes with our cabbage, and then we'll put our vegetables in our stew.
And so that wasn't very time consuming, just a little chopping, and then you have everything in your pot. Makes cleanup nice too.
It does, and I do want to take note that we are using a couple different color cutting boards, and so although it looks pretty for the screen, we're making sure that we're keeping our vegetables separate from our protein, and so these cutting boards are just really flimsy, and you can put them in the dishwasher. They're super easy to use. So I would suggest investing in some, because this is a time you could bring your kids, if they're old enough, into the kitchen and let them do a little chopping with your supervision, and you could each give them a little cutting board and have them participate in the family meal.
All right, Brittany, I'm ready to carry this over.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, our onions are softened, and you can smell them. They smell so good. So let's add our cabbage and our potatoes carefully in. I'm going to give it a quick stir. Kind of combine those up. Then we're gonna add our pound of sausage. And 1 box of a chicken broth. So 32 ounces of chicken broth. And we're gonna put our top back on. We're gonna reduce the heat just a tad bit. We're gonna keep a close eye on it and come back often and give it a quick turn and kind of rotate all of those vegetables and the sausage around. And within about 30 or 35 minutes, we'll have a really delicious meal.